What's up, everybody? My name is Aaron, and welcome to the Mad Maker Studio, and welcome back for more of Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. It has been a long journey, but we still have an even longer way to go, I feel like. Real quick, so far we've collected 177 stories out of the 237. And I went through and made a quick list of all the characters that we need to finish out, and it looks like we have 10 characters that still need to have their stories completed. So we're not quite at the halfway mark with them yet. But we are going to look at our map. And yes, my plan last time was to do like a curve down to the southeast, get back to where Dupree and Jimmy are, and go from there. So it looks like we just need to make a beeline straight down south. Thankfully, we've got a river crossing here, so we can do that. A preacher watches you with an odd look. Suspicion? Pity? He beckons you into the church and starts counting cash out of the donations box. Hush, he says, trying to silence your thanks. He piles the coins into your hand. You look like you need it more than we do. Move on. Thank you. These men lean against the wall of this hardware store, smoking and chatting. They wave you over. You heard this one before? They launch into a group recitation of Floyd the amateur coroner, interrupting one another in their excitement to tell it. Wait a second. You recognize this story. It's the story about Floyd the suspicious prospector. Someone's added to it in the meantime, though. What do you think? Asks one of the men, eyes bright. You think that really happened? Of course I do. Well, I'm not sure myself, he replies, but dang, it sounds wild. Move on.
You again? Like a thorn in my foot, you chase me down again and again, 'cause you're a poor loser.
I just want to tell stories.
You got hustled, but we all get hustled, especially gullible marks like you. So learn the game or it'll happen again. And if you look at it that way, I'm doing you a favor telling you how it works. I mean, what did you expect? I told you I steal.
What did you steal from me?
Now you show me how you do it. Pretend I'm a mark and tell me a story to make my heart race.
I'll do my best.
Haha, good one. Exciting enough to keep attention, but true enough to trick a mark. Look, you came to me, not the other way around. You listened to me, you stayed around me, you knew what it was.
What do you think this is? We're at a campfire, we're exchanging stories. I feel like I missed a whole plot line with this woman, and I'm just now noticing she's got 2 different colored eyes.
You stayed because you wanted to, and that's okay. You were free. Free to watch me take it from you.
I am so confused by this.
Now you show me how you do it. Pretend I'm a mark and tell me a story to make my heart race. You thrill 'em like that and they'll be all yours, honey. Oh yeah? And what you gonna say to the cops? This lil' girl robbed you?
You are most certainly not a little girl.
We were playing cards, sweetheart, and you lost fair and square.
I know, that's why I'm traveling the United States as a giant skeleton, because I lost a game to Mr. Wolf, and this is my punishment.
And you can't say I cheated, because if you say that, you gotta outline exactly how I did that. And I can see by your face you've no clue. And still, cops would rather arrest you for this injury, see? It's still here in my side. I'll tell 'em it was you. Now you show me how you do it. Pretend I'm a mark and tell me a story to make my heart race. Haha, good one. Exciting enough to keep attention, but true enough to trick a mark. Oh, come on there, get over it. I won what I won, and you knew I was a hustler. You knew I was a grifter by nature. You stayed to listen to my stories, and so whose fault is it now that I just gave in to my natural talents and grabbed a little something for myself? Does it hurt a little? I'm sure it does. Now you show me how you do it. Pretend I'm a mark and tell me a story to make my heart race.
Now she is all about the adventure stories this time.
You thrill 'em like that and they'll be all yours, honey. I drove through Reno and out the other side, and after that I thought I'd never meet another gullible mark again, till you. Came a long way just to meet your gentle manner and your patience for a grifter to work her trick on you. Good job, I say. Made it all worth it. Now it's your turn. Scare me like you'd scare a good mark. That one ain't bad. When they shiver and shake for you, that's when you know you got 'em. I was so lucky to meet you on the road where you're going. So guileless at me, that face all hopeful like you could learn something. I knew straight away I could hustle you with a few nice place stories, them words all wound up on a spindle.
Now, were those stories true or embellished? Were you lying to me? I'm here to do a job, okay? And I feel like you're getting in the way of that.
And you came back to see me, and then I knew you got 'em, Miss Dupree. The fish is on the line. Come home to mommy. And luck had it. You reeled in.
Again, I'm going to reiterate. I'm here to do a job. You're not special, honey.
It's just my way, you know. I was shaped by the world, and all I do is reflect the nature of it. You know, wherever you go, I'll be taking a little extra from a stranger. No prejudice. How's that for you?
This is our last interaction. Go live your life. I'm done talking to you. She made me salty now. Good, good. I'm glad Dupree's story's over. I disliked talking to her toward the end there. Ever since she became the Kyuubi. Having none of that.
Let me level with you, friend. Ain't sure there's a me no more.
Whoa.
I'm Baptist when I need to be Baptist. I'm Methodist when I need to be Methodist. Even been Catholic once or twice.
Is this his inner conflict with his religion?
I'm so interested in what y'all need, I can't quite put a finger on what it is I believe these days.
Oh.
See, I ain't a preacher. I'm a grifter.
Oh, not like Dupree.
Only thing is, can't quite tell if I'm proud or ashamed of that fact.
Just don't be like Dupree. Dupree sucks.
Anyway, why don't you tell me a scary story? You must have heard some good ones.
I sure enough have.
Oh, you got me for a second with that one. Traps, I saw it in Pops. I saw it in the generals of Europe. I see it daily in businessmen and politicians and artists too. The self is the biggest trap there is. Don't fall in. Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right?
I'm just, again, just when I think I know what the character art is going to be, I'm blown away by it. I guess, yes, it makes sense because when he said he lied about his age to get into the service because they needed a chaplain. And yeah, he's right. You know, he's fixated on the needs of everyone else. He's not sure who he is, and he's struggling with that. He's struggling with his religious identity and his own beliefs. All the imagery is just so powerful that I'm struggling to put it into words, if that makes sense.
Oh, you could rattle a congregation's bones, I bet. Family, Pops pretended to be a strong man, but in the end, he was just a coward and a cheat. Like father, like son, I suppose. Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right?
I guess so.
Oh, you got me for a second with that one. I spent so long playing at being an authority figure that people started actually treating me like one. Not sure I've ever lived up to that, but maybe if folks think I have, that's good enough. Lately, my journey's been pretty ordinary, just walking church to church. What about you? Been on any adventures? I swear I ain't heard a story good as that in a long minute. There are two sorts of freedom. There's freedom to do the things you want, to dance and sing and love and move, and every other blessed thing. And then there's freedom from fear, from unkindness, from violence undue. Even those of us with the first freedom, we don't always have the second. You must have seen some pretty wild stuff on the road. What's the most exciting thing you've seen? You've got a pretty wild life, you know that? Death, every time I leave a congregation behind, whatever man I'd been in that place dies. I don't mind that too much, though. Just an opportunity to get a new face ready for the next church.
Oof.
Can't have a resurrection without death, right? Here's the sunrise. I've got another sermon to give, and the church is a long way off. I suppose I'm taking this show on the road again. And by God, it gives me the hope I live on, and it makes me sick both at once. Don't know how to feel about it, how to think about it, but I keep going, don't I? Next, I'm headed this way. Keep yourself safe on the road, friend. Maybe we'll meet again.
Oh, that was so interesting. An acorn that tinkles like a little silver bell whenever it moves. Not what I'd expect, but sure. I'll have to go back later and look up a guide or something just to figure out which souvenir I got from whom, because I neglected to check back every single time. Where to next? We don't want to see Jimmy back to back. We can try heading, let's walk around Mississippi and Louisiana, see if there's some more stories hidden. And Texas is so big, I feel like there could be some more stories out here, and we would also be on our way to Rocio and Ray, which we'll probably see Ray again, just because we already started his transformative chapter, or rather his final chapter. And we need to finish it. But yeah, let's do a little tour around Mississippi and Louisiana and see if we can find any additional stories, because we still only have 177. Long way to go.
Workers cluster outside a dilapidated church. A heavy-set man sings a work song as he swings his sledgehammer down on a broken retaining wall. His voice builds a rumbling harmony with the splintering stone. A burly man rests calloused hands on his idle jackhammer, rapt.
Listen to the song, or let's ask about the singer.
The man leaning on the jackhammer nods. Hadn't heard him sing before. This is his church. He grew up here. Got married here. His dad's buried out back. I'm here to feed my family. I don't care how I do it. And he's providing for his family and building him a future, too.
Move on.
The policeman minds you for news from anywhere but here as his radio burbles. You catch a snippet. Armed robbery in progress at... Before he turns it down.
That sounded important.
He waves a hand. Yeah, it's just Willie. Every month after his paycheck goes in, he marches into the bank with his .45 and demands cash. Candace gives it to him and deducts it from his account later.
You should stop him, or that's kind of her. First off, that is not okay. And I wouldn't really say that's kind of her because, I mean, she's just, you know, he's withdrawing, whatever, but, I'm gonna go with you should stop him.
What? Do I send him up to county? Fine thing that'd be. Truth is, Willie just ain't very good at using banks, and that's no crime. Gunshots sound a few blocks away. His eyes widen. He kicks the car into gear and roars off, shouting into his radio.
Are we going to follow him?
You get to the bank several minutes later. There's a crowd gathered round the entrance, blocking your view. But the action's over. A woman turns to you. Someone came in waving a shotgun. Willie was there, put him down, but... Poor Willie.
Oh, move on. Wow, okay. Okay, we need money after we buy from the store. Getting my thoughts mixed up. The only thing I can buy is orange juice, which I would also love to drink in real life right now. We don't have any, and that took all my money. So let's try to earn some money. You wander the streets of the city looking for a way to make some cash. I'm going to panhandle this time. No charity from this city today. Maybe they're all broke? You'd believe it too. You haven't seen anyone in hours who looks like they know where their next dinner's coming from. Move on. That's okay. I'm okay with not having money, but I want to keep my heart and my sleep meters filled. Because again, I feel like we're gonna have to like just die to see Mr. Wolf again, but I don't want to see him again too soon. What? Can I not let the story grow? Here we go. You share this bus stop with an old man who shifts from foot to foot, thumbing his suspenders and watching the passing traffic with anxious focus. Hey, he blurts, suddenly turning toward you. Want to hear a good story? Sure. With an air of a man who's distracting himself from something, he stumbles quickly through a tale about the unstoppable Bronco, confusing himself now and again, backtracking, adding new details out of order. You barely piece the story together. Wait a second. You suddenly realize that he's told you a twisted version of the story about the rodeo, but massively changed, with whole new chunks you don't remember. It's true, the old man insists, turning his wincing eyes back toward the road, and with that, the conversation seems over. Move on. A long black car growls up in front of this hotel. Out steps a woman in an extravagant hat and coat, followed by a whole crowd of hangers-on. Is she a singer, an actress? You don't recognize her face, but to your surprise, you recognize the story she's telling. Listen in. In a sharp transatlantic accent, she's telling everyone in her party a story about the lounge singer who passed on unknowable secrets in every song. It's clearly the story of the unnerving lounge singer, but changed in a few entertaining ways. Keep listening. Isn't that something, she asks. Her various followers agree. She pays the driver of the limousine and sweeps into the hotel like a thunderstorm of red velvet. Someone should do a picture about it, you hear her exclaim. Move on.
It's long past dawn, but the stray rooster crows repeatedly. Satisfied with its vocal performance, the bird rushes you, flapping. It backs up and repeats the gesture. The rooster is like a tiny feathered goat making a threat display. It struts. It eyes your legs.
Attempt to get past.
The rooster launches itself into the air, going for your eyes. As you step back, it returns to gouging your shins with its beak. Its crow now is more like a shriek. All right, I'm coming. An elderly man lumbers from the nearby house.
Okay, so this is like a normal animal. We're not talking to it. Explain your predicament.
Yeah, don't mind old Red. He's better than a guard dog, but harder to train. Red rushes at your feet. Sorry. I can hold him while you get past if you like. He smiles awkwardly. Or you could come in, have a drink. Least I could do after he's been shouting at you.
Ask him to restrain the bird. No, we're going to join him for a drink.
As you step onto the man's front porch, the volume of Red's crows increases. It lunges repeatedly at your legs, drawing blood through your clothes. Finally, the man grabs the rooster so you can get inside. Yeah, he's a big softy, really. Your shins disagree.
And I lost health. Let's sit at the kitchen table.
The tea the man gives you is too sweet, but it's soothing. He gossips about the local farms. Apparently his daughter's husband has a new bull. Red pokes his head by the window. He is watching.
That's weird. Also, I'm from the South. You can't make a tea that is too sweet. Just saying. Make your excuses.
There is an ominous clucking just as you prepare to leave. Red is waiting. To preserve your calves, you have to sprint from the house door to the gate. The cockerel's crows are triumphant.
Move on. I don't know if we already tried to make money here. I'm gonna have to find a stat boost house. Yep. Well, before we go talk to our friend Ray, let me add the rooster story. I think this, wow, oh, here's the rooster. Wow, this is like the most, I have the most stories in the Empress category. I wonder what that says about me. All right, we'll just have to find a stat boost house.
Hey there, amigo. I knew we'd meet again. You and I are both the kind of folks who can't be held in one place. But the law's gonna follow me wherever I go the rest of my days. It's funny to feel free and hunted both at once. I don't want to find a place to settle and rest, but now, on the U.S. side of the border, I can't. So, you know any good jokes? You're funny as hell, you know that? The kind of love I have for this place, it's kind of obsessive, unrequited love. It'll make you selfish, irritable. It'll make you lash out against anyone or anything looking to do it harm. But anyway, amigo, what's the most exciting thing you've seen out here on the road? You live an exciting life, amigo. Home? The desert's my home. They can fence it off, they can wrap it in barbed wire, paved roads. But hell if I'm gonna let them do it without a fight. I bet you've seen some really wild, exciting stuff out there, though.
Whoops. I preemptively clicked. I'm sorry, Ray. Let's see if we can find you a thrilling, exciting story.
What a story. Man, I'd never go bored sharing a campfire with you.
Yeah, oh, we got his eye fully open.
I'm free now. But I don't know if you can really call being on the lam being all that free.
Yep.
I gotta watch where I go. It's just another fence, another do not enter sign on top of all the other ones we got round here. But anyway, amigo, what's the most exciting thing you've seen out here on the road? You live an exciting life, amigo.
Sometimes exciting is not always a good thing. For example, right now, we've lived through enough excitement for a literal lifetime. I wouldn't hate it if things were just like boring and uneventful for like a solid week at the very least.
But talking about my choices, my recent choices, I didn't set out trying to hurt no one. But the more I see men trying to bring harm to the desert, the more I feel like I gotta stand up for her.
And that's also speaking volumes of, like, as a single individual person, how much of an impact do you have? How much can you accomplish just by yourself?
I bet you've seen some really wild, exciting stuff out there, though. Tell me about it.
Oh, here we are. We are at the final story. We are going to tell Ray.
What a story. Man, I'd never go bored sharing a campfire with you. Folks say that the desert is deadly, that it kills. But it don't. It just doesn't care if anything in it lives or dies. It keeps on existing, no matter what, and pays no mind to the human drama we've brought upon it. Anyway, I gotta get a move on, amigo. Can't stay in one place too long no more. Doubt we'll see each other again, but I hope the best for you.
And I hope the best for you too, Ray.
Anyway, I gotta get a move on, amigo. Can't stay in one place too long no more.
Gonna head down to Old Mexico and rest my feet a spell. Adios, amigo. Oh my gosh. Not gonna lie, it's really late for me right now when I'm recording this. And I'm feeling the sleep real hard right now. But Ray, your story was very powerful to me. I'm already seeing myself. I'm gonna be thinking about this game for a long time after I finish completing it. But we still have a long way to go with Ray's story complete. The remaining characters we have are August, Bertha, Cassidy, Dahaya, Vitalina, Rose, Rocio, and Jimmy. We are closing in, and I do not know if, when we'll see Mr. Wolf again, if it happens where we go, oops, like, look, my stats are down, and I have no money, and I don't see a stat boost house nearby. We might end up meeting him again that way, or if he will just appear as soon as we finish everyone's dialogue. I keep speculating, and I just need to play the game instead of rambling because you don't want to hear me ramble. But if you do, I appreciate it. I'm losing my mind. I need to go to bed. I'm leaving this episode of Where the Water Tastes Like Wine here. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I hope to see you next time. Bye!